Okay. We're live on Facebook. Perfect.
Yay.
What's up? Hey,
How's it
everybody. My name is Joe Russo. I am the CEO of the Palm Beach Tech Association. I am here today to present to you another awesome South Florida Tech Talk held virtually. We're joined here by Raina, who's a principal consultant with Improving. I'm going to introduce him more fully in a second, but just to talk really quickly of what Tech Talks are. This is a program of Palm Beach Tech, which part of our mission is building South Florida into a tech hub. We are a nonprofit organization of 178 companies and organizations building our community, building our tech community and building our tech hub. And you can, of course, learn a little bit more about us on palmbeachtech.org. These are a few of our awesome members, big names like Office Depot, and Total Wine, on down to some homegrown companies like Shipmonk and Digital Resource. So there's a lot of really great companies that we get to work with on a daily basis as part of our mission. And if you're interested in becoming a member, or you know somebody who's interested, individual memberships are just $50 a year, and for companies that start at $500. So we do what we can to help out everybody with different strategies at different sizes. So you can go to our website at palmbeachtech.org/membership to learn more. And we do have a Slack channel. If you want to get your email on our email list, you can text us your email to this number. You can simply go on our website, and you can also join our Slack channel. With that, I'm really excited to welcome my friend and one of our board members, Raina. He's from the software consultancy company Improving. So it's not only their name, but it's also what they do. And he's going to be sharing a little bit with us today on adding value through communications. One of the things that Improving does very well, working with their Fortune 500 clients, is understanding that communicating things like expectations, updates, very, very simple bits also add to the value of that project and add to the value of what the end product is. So they've been part of our organization for, I think, about 3 years now, since setting up shop in West Palm. Really lucky to have them and Adi be a part of our organization. So thank you so much for joining us today, and feel free to take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to share my screen. Awesome. So again, thank you for having me. Like Joe said, we really truly believe in communication is really where a project succeeds. Or COVID times, and we have a lot of small businesses that are part of this COVID-19 pandemic, and we want to make sure that we continue to show what we can do as a company, even when we are kind of remote. So like we said, we're going to just talk about what value communication is, a little update on how you can really show presence. We'll talk about who your audience is and some other topics, but the overall conversation is around how your communication can truly show your value to an organization. And when nowadays, as Q2, Q3 results come out, some of the companies are going to look at their staff and ask, who's truly adding value to us? And if you're remote, how do you truly present that value to your clients, or just within even a company? It doesn't have to be a consultancy that does this. So just kind of going right into it, what we kind of look at it is that it's baseline, the communication really starts at status reporting, but it's more than that, right? So you're not just kind of telling them what you have done that week, but really what we want to really get to is the planning and how you can control your destiny and how your perception can be changed when you communicate well. And one of the things we do when new consultants join Improving is that we take them through a 2-week kind of a boot camp of some of these topics like value communications and presence and other topics, just to kind of instill in them how important this is. We have seen 6 out of 10 projects that have failed because we just did not communicate well. So it's very important that we kind of get, even as small businesses and entrepreneurs, we kind of understand how to communicate. A little change on the slide we added for remote work. You can still communicate your value every day in writing, send something. You have to be online, so just show your presence online all these different messaging. You can still be present, right? You can still, if you have a team within Teams or Slack, just kind of say, hey, good morning, everybody, how's it going? Just keep checking in through the day, even if you're just working away. Take a few seconds, disconnect from your coding or working or whatever, go to these communication protocols and just kind of go in and just kind of check in. And of course, like any other time, if you are sick, let them know ahead of time, and also let them know, hey, I might be able to work, I might not be able to work, but I will give you some more updates, right? This whole idea is that you can still have presence even though you're not in the office or you're not face to face with those clients. This is a big one for us. You have to know your audience. We sometimes have multiple roles on a customer, right? Even when you're working as a, let's say, a project manager versus a tech lead or just a developer, you really should know who your audience is. A C-level executive does not care what Jira ticket you closed, right? They just don't care. They rather know what the milestones are, what the deliverables are. Is the budget running too hot, too cold, whatever that is? That's what they really want to know. So that's where we go. You want to know your audience. If you're emailing a tech lead, sure, you might want to just tell them, hey, I've worked through these tickets, and just kind of update them accordingly. So know your audience. Who are you emailing? Sometimes in our clients, we will have an account manager who deals with the C-level executive, and we'll have a tech lead that might deal with another corresponding tech lead at a client, and we would have different statuses going out. That just helps the right people know what they need to know. And the idea is, hey, we don't need another call for this, especially in the remote working COVID-19 world. How can I send you information that will help them be better prepared when somebody asks them, hey, how is that project going? One of the next topics we really talk to our consultants about is you really want to tell your story. It's easy to just say, I closed your ticket. Well, a lot of people close that ticket, right? What did you do that was so unique? You need to elevate a little bit of what you do. And if you did something amazing, point that out, especially on a tech level status, right? Be specific about how you kind of reach that problem. And sometimes we also encourage our consultants to kind of take what they have learned and kind of say, hey, not only what we did was amazing, how about I do a lunch and learn for you? How about I share the knowledge with you about how that magic really truly happened? So don't think that you need to really stop at just a status report. That can lead to other opportunities within a customer. And again, just kind of separate yourself from another person who's billing, right? So just kind of tell your story and just kind of distinguish yourself. One of the other ones is there is no I in team, especially if you're a small business entrepreneur. We always tell our consultants never to use the term I when you do status report. You want to not only share the knowledge, share the good, but you also want to kind of tell the customer that, we're more than just a single person, right? Especially when you're a small 10-person group, there might only be one person really attending to a client. So you just want to find ways to elevate your value within that organization. So we always say, don't say I deployed something to the testing environment. Say our team deployed something, or we deployed something to the testing environment, and emphasize the whole team, not just you. Accomplishment, again, some things that are very boring to us, we think is Jira tickets. Say, go more, right? I designed something, I engaged in something. Hey, I own this problem, I contributed. Because at the end, the customer really just wants to know, hey, I gave you something, I don't want to think about it. Tell me when it's done, and hopefully tell me that you've done it well. And all these things together, right? The I know I telling your story kind of brings together that vision for the customer that, oh, this person is really owning it and they're really moving us forward as an organization. So definitely use words other than, just I did work, right? Try to be, it's like a resume sometimes, right? Those status reports are sometimes resumes. So elevate those with just like you would with your resumes. Another one that is very important to us and near and dear to my heart is you always want to communicate the plan ahead of time. Like I said, a customer is bringing you in, especially if you're a small business and a consultant, uh, to just say, I have some work that I can't finish, I'm going to give it to you. What you really want to say is that, hey, this is my progress. And this is, again, two different statuses, right? A tech lead might not care about all of it, but generally they do as well. We normally have an executive summary and then a detailed summary in our status reports. So an executive might just get the top, but a lead architect or somebody might get both. So they have both the information. But we really want to communicate, hey, in this project, we are 20% through. We want to tell them that these are the upcoming milestones, right? We're not talking about task level. We're talking about features and epics, right? So that's where you really want to do. We really truly believe in this phrase, control your destiny, because you could have a customer bugging you every day saying, when are you going to come back to me? When are you going to come back to me? Or in your status report, you could say, hey, we are 30% through. These are the upcoming milestones. These are the dates when these milestones will be done. I will reach out to you on Tuesday, or please look for a meeting from me for Tuesday to cover the details, right? Now the customer knows your milestones, how well you're doing. They know that you are going to reach out to them. They don't have to bug you about it. And you're really controlling your destiny, especially if you're a small business, you have multiple clients, right? Now you're saying, hey, don't bug me till Tuesday. I told you I'm going to come to you Tuesday. And generally what we have found is our customers are happy with that. Then they know, hey, next week, my week is going to be where Tuesday I have a check-in with this person, and then they will tell me what's going on. So we're really kind of talking about, you need to set your expectations, right? What are you specifically going to be doing by Tuesday? When is it going to be done, right? Tuesday. And really, the last one is very important. Are there any bottlenecks and risk? We really truly believe that it's never too early to bring up risks. Generally in our projects, we have sometimes very simple Google sheet with simple like green, yellow, red, that as we start a project, we list everything that we can think of as risk, and we go ahead and put it as red. And as we start going through the weeks, we will switch those to yellows to green, and the status reports will show that too, that any of the reds will make it to the status report. And what we have found is that when you then have that conversation that says, hey, why is the project not done? You can come back and say, here's all the statuses that I've sent to you. Your servers are not ready. And we have called this out to you twice a week saying we can't do anything till your servers are ready, right? So you should really truly in your communication, the value there is to kind of say, hey, here's a risk. It will cost you more money if you don't move that bottleneck or that blocker. And generally the customer will do whatever they can to then say, we'll prioritize your request and move the blocker for you. So definitely look for that. Last really value communication type of slides. A forward, your emails have legs is the best way to put it, right? We have seen emails that we have sent end up with random people within the organization. So be very careful of what you put in an email, because you should always assume that it doesn't matter if you know the person for 10 years, that email is going to get forwarded. Another tip is mobile friendly. Nowadays, try not to put a bunch of images and stuff in there. People are generally going to check it quickly on their mobile. So make it where it's mobile friendly, it looks okay on a mobile device. If you have a issue that is precluding you from, let's say, delivering, make sure you answer why it's doing that, right? Hey, install is 2 weeks late. Why? The blocker is that my servers are still not delivered that you're supposed to deliver to me. And that's why I cannot install what you need me to install. So always answer that why. If you are a small company or a big company, we always suggest practice internally, right? So send statuses internally and critique each other just like you would with a code review, right? Think of this as a pull request, right? Hey, can you review my code before I'm allowed to do anything with this? We definitely believe in that. That 2-week boot camp that we normally that I talked about, we ask all the consultants that join us, we pair them with one principal, and they have to CC what those principles on all their statuses, and we critique them for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And just to kind of get that internal practice going, and just kind of saying, hey, you could do this better. That this thing I really loved, you just keep doing that, and just kind of give them good feedback. The next one is very important in this world as well, in this pandemic world. We truly believe you should never put bad news in a status report. So project is now going to be sliding for 3 weeks by 3 weeks. If you already know that, and generally as a consultant or as a developer, you know how much time you will need to get something done. It's not something you want to put in a status report. You really want to call first. Or if you can be in person, deliver that news in person. Bad news and surprises, we truly believe in, it's never good to put that in a status report, and definitely not in an email, right? So always try to find a way to say, hey, can I grab 10 minutes of your time and just kind of give you this update, because you can then gauge some feedback from the person you're talking to. Generally, it's the sponsor of the project, and you can also kind of brainstorm with them and say, hey, can you move some other blockers and maybe we can make up time, right? Or good news, maybe they say, you know what, we know we dropped the ball on the servers, we probably need to extend you by 3 weeks. I understand why it's doing so, but those kind of conversations should always happen in person, or nowadays on a phone call, not by email. The last one, very important, don't guess. If you have a question, ask. If you have any doubt, ask. That is better, and it will give you a better gauge of what you are supposed to deliver than just guessing. So definitely, those are some of those topics for us. I'm gonna kind of go back to here to the agenda again. We talked about, be present, remote, especially in this remote working, right? Know your audience. You will have a C-level executive who just wants an executive summary versus a detailed status report. Make sure you're not just listing tasks. Tell your story. Get your team involved. It's always a we, not an I. Put some action in your accomplishments, right? Make it exciting. And definitely communicate the plan. Control your destiny and say, I am ahead of the curve. I know what I need to do. And here's a report that will tell you what's needed. So those were some of the things we kind of go through in our company. I thought it would be a good thing to kind of share, especially for entrepreneurs who are, we were at one time when I joined Improving, we were 10 people. And we use these type of communication standards to kind of portray that we were a company of 50, right? And it helped us a lot. We got great feedback from customers, and we continue and truly believe in this value communication. Joe?
Hey, Adi, that's awesome stuff, and I love how you have the slides very well put out. So for those who are actually on Facebook, if you want to dump in any questions, I have a couple really quick for you that I would love to just chat about for a second. Mainly, like you talked about a lot of company specific things, like just now about how you can make 10 people seem like 50. But for the sake of the work that you do on a daily basis, like how does company culture play into all of this? You're talking about value communication, but you have got to have an awesome team, taking part in this too. Am I right?
Absolutely. I mean, because as we truly believe that at the end, what you want to try to do as a team is make your product owner look good when he's in the executive meeting, right? And the most information you can give him, the more information you can give him is the best. So that's why the practice comes in play, right? That you are emailing each other those statuses first so you can kind of get better at it. And especially, let's say it's not a consultancy kind of idea. Let's say it's one company, you're just an employee of that company. I will tell you that we have more complaints come in from our customers that say, I wish our employees would just communicate with me better the way you guys do, just because it will make it easier when I'm in the executive leadership meetings to completely say, hey, we are 40% through our schedule, we're not burning the cash. And you know, they love that executive level. And then on the technical side, the tech leads love the fact that we can say, hey, we are adding value through our statuses, right? We know exactly what our blockers are. We are looking ahead and saying that, hey, we know production server is not going to happen for 7 weeks, but that's already a risk, right? Call that out, and they will see that and say, hey, it seems like your teams are going to be going to production on time, which at the end, I mean, it's money, right? Everything is money. So we get great feedback on it, even internally.
Going back to the company culture thing, I think one of our earliest encounters with each other was, apparently Halloween was a big deal.
Love Halloween.
Yeah, and the Scooby-Doo gang walked into my office asking to take a picture together. I had been communicated with that Halloween was a big deal beforehand, but I just, seeing it there was something.
We love, and you know, especially in Atlanta, our Atlanta office, we have a few spouses, partners who work on The Walking Dead back then. And so there was a few that were just like, oh wow, give them the $200 winner. And what our company does is, if you dress up, you get $100. Is really the culture, to just, to pay for your costume.
That's fun. So you mentioned, of course, some of the work that you're doing, but what are some of the brands, or what are some of the companies that Improving has done work with, just to kind of give maybe an example of the range there? I mean, you're talking some big guys and all the way down to some startups, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I mean, from our big, we do work with NASA all the way down, airline industry, which is sucking right now, but
Yeah.
a lot of big airline clients. We're still helping them add value. We are the largest Scrum.org trainer in North America, and we lead the BP Scrum training for BP worldwide. So we are, and BP, we have figured out that Scrum methodology and Agile methodology is just not for IT teams, and BP does it across their business, from operations to everywhere. So we have clients like that. On the tech sector, we also have a product the company owns, which is in all 50 states. But yeah, we're all over the place. We are about 500 people total in about 10 offices. And so yeah, we technically we kind of fit in any IT project, from CIO as a service down. So we are in many places.
Gotcha. Well, I thank you so much for taking the time today, Adi. I mean, I know this was a presentation I've seen before, but I don't think this ever hurts to see again. I think about the communication that I've had today, and there's of course an improvement on it that I think we can all make. And this of course is live on Facebook, so this will be memorialized, so people can go back and take a look at it. I think I'm going to probably do that tomorrow as well. But I always appreciate having you chat and share some more with us. But curious if you have any closing thoughts before we head off the livecast today.
No, just keep doing what you all are doing in West Palm Beach and around the nation. I mean, it's weird times, but we can get through it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, Adi, and thank you for everybody who's joining and watching us live on Facebook. You can check in. Actually, next week is Memorial Day, so we're going to skip a week for Tech Talks, but we'll be back the week after. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your Monday. See you, Adi.
See you later.